Oh, this is exciting.
Hi.
Ben!
Can he see us? No.
Hey! It happened.
It happened, dude.
It's a fucking miracle.
It's a fucking miracle, isn't it?
Why is there a giant microphone in front of Ben? Do we need that? Is that?
Can we?
That's his audio? Okay. That's how he hears us. Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Can you not see him?
Josh, have you done this before?
I haven't done this particular thing before.
He's new.
Yeah.
I'm going to cut this.
What's on
down.
behind you? What does it say?
Yeah, what's behind you? Sounds like fraud, but okay.
I think this is a plug.
Uh-oh.
It's the plug.
We're going to
That's
learn
a plug.
something
Actually,
today.
This is the plug.
It's a book.
Aw, it's so good to see your face,
It's good to see you guys.
Oh
Oh
my
my God.
Oh my
know.
God.
I mean, well, we got to save this for on air. I mean, we
Are
can
we
catch
on
it
air?
now.
We might be
but,
recording.
like,
We're actually
Are we recording?
recording.
Okay,
That's the kind of
Shoot.
podcast they run here.
Josh, I like this. Is that a sweater? I like that.
It's a Huey Lewis in the News sweatshirt.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, shit. Is it? I can't see.
Yeah,
It's
I
too
know.
far away.
Yeah, we're a little
Huey
small
Lewis
for
in the-
you.
We're tiny.
We're
Wait,
small.
I am
it.
tiny.
But I like that you were impressed that I wore a sweater just in general.
No, the specific sweater
Okay.
and your socks match, which I am always
That's what
a big
I
fan.
said.
Rachel pointed that out. Totally.
That's right. We're very
Really nice
observant,
move, man.
you and I.
So,
This is new
okay,
single
guys,
Josh.
for those of you who don't hear or can't see or haven't figured it out, Josh Schwartz, of course, is here, our creator, and he's a regular contributor and needs no introduction. But we are all delighted to have for the very first time Mr. Ben McKenzie.
Yay!
As an actor, director, producer, writer, commentary, your favorite quiet and guarded leading man has been quite busy since he left Newport Beach. He starred in such shows as Southland and Gotham and films like Junebug, 88 Minutes, and Line of Duty. He made his Broadway debut in 2020 in the Tony-nominated Grand Horizons. His book, Easy Money, about cryptocurrency, will debut in July of this year. Along the way, he got married and he became a papa, and he just finished an ABC pilot called The Hurt Unit. Please welcome Ben McKenzie.
Yay, Ben!
Thank you.
Thank you for having. I'm so excited that I could be here. You guys just started the podcast, right? I'm on this week, I think. I feel like I'm such a jerk. I'm so excited to be here.
It wasn't easy. I feel like Rachel's been hectoring you for a couple years now. And
I
I just want to know, what's the beef?
I gotta make there's
between you
no
and
beef.
Rachel.
I just want Rachel to. I want her to I want them to earn it. You know what I mean? I want you to feel the satisfaction.
Let me tell you, all I've done this whole time is just pitched a Summer Ryan love storyline.
Dude, why didn't we ever do that?
Why didn't we ever do that? I am so
Look how
team
quickly
Ryan.
he's willing to just throw Seth under the bus.
Totally.
Yes, of course.
We found out Seth was kind of annoying, actually, as when we looking at him as adults. He's super self-centered. And then all of a sudden we're like, ooh, Ben's got great hair here. Ooh, did you see that? Did you see his muscles on the... Well, now Julie got with everyone but Ryan.
No,
that would have been
come on.
weird.
True.
That
That's
would've really
that would have been really weird.
That would have been a third rail.
But kind of cool. Yeah, we definitely should have done that too.
Not great.
a third rail.
Not great.
I love
Not
how
great.
Ben just has no moral compunctions about getting with any of the female characters on. He's like,
Yeah, of
Summer,
course.
best friend under the bus.
Listen, our
Girlfriend's mom, whatever.
Now that I'm married, I can only live through my work.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh my gosh. Well, congrats on being a father. Last time I saw you was 2016, and you were just becoming a father, right?
Oh, that's right. Oh my God. Yeah. No. 9-year-old, 7-year-old, and 2-year-old.
Wow.
Congrats. How's
I
that
saw
been?
you in 2020 where you had like a newborn. I feel like you were like,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. And
20?
I probably look like, and I probably look, yeah.
You're like, thank you for getting me out of the house.
Exactly. The little guy's 2. I've just been away for a month filming this pilot, and it's the longest I've been away from him for sure.
Isn't it great?
Probably for
You
honestly
slept so well, right?
Oh my God. It was so quiet. I was in this like completely soulless, like corporate apartment, but it was quiet. It was peaceful. I was so happy. But it was also nice to come back, and he ran into my arms and jumped into my arms and I came back.
Oh, just wait till they're
And
teenagers and don't do that.
I know.
I don't wanna think about it.
I'm trying. Savor it now.
That's right.
CG used to call you my Benny. when she was little.
I remember
And
CJ. How is she?
she's 23. She's a graduate
know.
from college.
We all have that experience
Yes,
when we find
yes,
out that
yes.
CG graduated college.
Jeez.
She's taking classes at Second City in
Is
she
Chicago.
really?
Is she?
Improv. Yeah.
That's
All of a sudden,
awesome.
all of a sudden, she's like, I think I want to act. I'm like, what? Where did this come from?
You're like, no.
Deep.
Oh yeah, no.
You have to do it for passion.
I remember she was the cutest child I think I have ever still to this day met,
So-
including my own children.
I know.
So I'm sure she's phenomenal and phenomenally funny, much
She
like her
is.
mother.
She is. Well, yeah, she's funnier. She actually knows lyrics to songs, dirty rap songs.
Unlike you.
Unlike
Well, dirty
me.
rap
Yeah,
songs.
yeah.
I mean,
That's
that's
the only information that Rachel has retained.
That's right.
Dirty rap song lyrics.
That's
Dirty
right.
rap songs.
That's correct.
And Rachel,
Yes.
I want to hear about your.
Oh God, I know.
yeah.
I have an 8-year-old daughter. She's 8.
Oh my God, we
I
have to
know.
get our kids together.
We do. I know. You have to let us know when you're out here. And then Josh's
know.
kids and my kid are basically
Besties.
sister besties.
Besties?
Yep.
Aw,
I
that's
know. We're all so old and
I know.
parents.
Let's not,
I know, right?
guys,
Okay,
let's keep
sorry.
it positive.
Oh yeah,
keep it
Josh
positive.
gave us the memo. Like we have to Ted
Well,
Lasso.
they came
this,
in.
apparent-
Rachel was like, eyes were puffy
My-
from watching the finale.
I
and
cried
crying.
so hard.
And they started it
watching
like it was a funeral. Like, here we are for the final. And I'm like, guys, it's a celebration.
It was so hard. Well, I
life.
had never seen it before. I hadn't seen a lot of the show before, and so watching the finale for the first time, it was very emotional.
Rachel remembers literally nothing. There's
Remember
like
nothing.
she's surprised by every storyline.
Well,
It's true.
It's been kind of cute, actually.
It's
each
been a
week,
while.
It's
each
been a
week, I'm
while.
like, "Hey, Rachel, what'd you think about this? What'd you think about that?"
I know.
I guys, I got to make a confession here. So I have my 7-year-old daughter, Frances. I haven't been working in the last couple of years because I've been doing this stupid book thing. And so they think that their mom is cool because she's in movies, but like they're not aware of my work. And so I let Frances watch the OC
At 7,
At 7?
At 7 years old.
social services are coming for you. Right?
Bad idea.
Yeah.
Bad idea. She of course loves it, like absolutely loves it. I had to cut it off after 2 episodes because I was like, oh my God, I forgot about the smoking. And, I remember
That's like
the drinking.
minute 8. Yeah.
Yeah. And there's cocaine. I was like, this is so bad. But now she's so cute. She really wants to continue watching it.
Aw.
She calls it the OCFDSQRP cheeky. Like she just every time she makes up a new string of letters, it's adorable. And really weird to watch it with your daughter. But
At
I don't
7.
know.
Yeah, Stella's 11 and is chomping at the bit. And I'm like,
Yeah.
it's almost safer to show
Oh,
a
you're-
7-year-old than to show an 11-year-old.
Right.
Right.
I know. I feel like Gotham would have been a better move than
Yeah.
the OC in a weird way. Yeah, even though there's people dying left and right. But
Oh my God.
So,
Yeah.
did you ever watch the show after, or did you watch it when we were shooting it?
I mean, big cheese parties.
Yeah, exactly.
right.
Exactly.
Come on. I watched it.
That's what we all have.
I kind of remember those parties.
I do
Those-
too.
Those
Yeah.
were fun.
I shushed Diana Ross at one of those parties.
What?
What?
Because you know, you never know who'd be at one of his
Yeah.
viewings, and it was the season 2 premiere, and he had Leonard Goldberg there, who was the original executive producer of Charlie's Angels, and he was Aaron Spelling's partner, and Leonard and his wife were there, and they had Diana Ross there, and she was talking through the episode, and I was just like very into it and nervous, and I shushed her, and I was like, I cannot believe I just shushed Diana Ross. But yeah, so anyway, that was a McGee's house.
I brought CG to one, and it was just at Adam and Brett's apartment. It was
You
just
left
a
Oh
them
my
into
God.
Adam and
Do you
Brett's
remember that?
apartment?
Yeah, that's not
Yeah,
a good
we
idea.
watched safe place
we
for a
watched the
child.
show, and I brought CG, and you were like, "Shh, CG."
Yeah,
I
well,
was like, "Oh,
I'm
I
fine
mean, it's-
shushing a child,
Yeah, right.
but shushing a musical
But Diana
icon,
Ross.
yeah, that's a whole other.
Oh my God. So you had never like watched it really? Like
None of us had.
I know I definitely didn't, but
I
don't-
watched it.
Yeah, I had, I mean, after I guess the first season or two, I definitely had like taken, it was interesting to watch it with my daughter and to look at myself as a younger person and to kind of like, yeah, it's, I have to say on many, many, many levels, it holds up. Like it is a very entertaining, addictive, she's ready to go with the next episode. As soon as it's over, she wants the next one. Which again is terrible parenting.
No, but-
By the way, you'll appreciate this. Brody had not watched the show for a while, and he was working with this and he was working with this director, and the director was a fan of the show and was like, "You really should like check it out again." And Adam went back and watched the first like 5 or 6 episodes again for the first time, and he reached out and he's like, I gotta say the show was good.
Oh.
I was like, oh, that's nice to hear. Finally, Brody's
finally,
pleased.
20
Yeah.
years
Finally.
later.
Finally, he's happy with it.
Oh, well, I think we're all kind of going through this because we're walking down memory lane, looking at it with a new set of eyes.
20-year anniversary.
And you
yeah.
were
Oh my
you
God.
and Josh and Stephanie had mentioned that they felt like there was some failure in ending in 4 seasons. But now looking back, we're still talking about it, and it is such a success. Do you feel the same way?
Yeah, I do. I mean, I feel like, I don't know, you leave them wanting more. It's like a good thing,
Yeah.
right? Like,
Right.
like if the two options, maybe there's a spectrum here, but
Yeah.
if the two options were to overstay your welcome or to understay, I think understay is
Leave early.
yeah,
Absolutely.
exactly.
I agree.
Pull the McG Irish goodbye. just leave.
I'm just gonna go to the bathroom, guys. I'll be right back.
I'll just go to the bathroom.
the best
Never
move.
saw him again.
No.
Yep.
Yeah, I do. I mean, we went through a lot of story really quickly, but we told a lot of stories that I think at the time were really novel and aggressive and unique. And I think in that way, it's interesting. I was in Vancouver shooting this pilot, and I was watching a basketball game at a bar in the middle of the day because I'm a loser, and the wait staff were like congratulating. They were like, "Are you the OC guy?" And they were way too young to have watched this live, but their older siblings were watching it. They were watching it on Hulu. So it was really, yeah. And I think I can appreciate that now. Better, easier, more with less like, you can't define me by that show I did. It's like, because it's it's in context, right? It's like everything
literally what-
kind
yeah.
of makes sense.
That's what we were
Yeah.
just talking
Right.
about.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all now have the ability to contextualize it in the longer arc of our lives and careers and kind of appreciate it in that way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And now it's also a way for people to learn about the early aughts,
very
Yeah,
much so.
totally.
Which have come back full force.
full force.
Yeah. It's so true.
I'm very excited to talk about our new sponsor, Movement, and the new watch I've been spotted wearing. It's modern and sleek, and I love the gold color. Adam and I, we don't go out too often, but I'm going to dress up a little bit more with my new watch because it's a perfect accessory to make those nights feel a little more special.
Life's too short to settle for the same old things. Movement keeps your look and your lifestyle fresh with clean watches at a price that won't make you rework your budget. I love wearing men's watches. And I love the Movement watches because they come in so many fun colors. And even the gold, like you said, Mindy, it's so fun to wear. I love it.
Movement is made with fresh modern designs by a time of weekend mavericks who know what it means to go from 9 to 5 workdays to 5 to 9 good times and every adventure in between. It's the epitome of bang for your buck with huge value and style your wrist and wallet will both love, and fast, reliable shipping.
Save big on your best Mother's Day gift ever from Movement. Get up to 40% off at mvmt.com and use code OC. Exclusions may apply. That's mvmt.com. Code OC for up to 40% off.
The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, and the spring air is warm, which means sweat is upon us. Thankfully, Lumi deodorant is here to keep us smelling nice when we need it the most and where we need it the most. I'm talking pits, privates, and beyond. Let's face it, our underarms aren't the only place we have odor.
Lumi was created by an OBGYN who discovered and proved in clinical testing that the vagina is not to blame for day-to-day odor below the belt. So she developed Lumi, a uniquely formulated pH-balanced deodorant. It's aluminum-free, skin-safe, and clinically proven to control odor for up to 72 hours.
A deodorant that stops odor before it happens and doesn't just cover it up. I love it. The coconut one, it's perfect. It's a perfect scent for hot summer days too.
Oh, yes. I love that this is aluminum free. I'm always thinking about that when I'm putting any kind of deodorant on my body, and I just feel so safe using this. Also, I smell great.
Yes, you do. Lumi Starter Pack is perfect for new customers. It comes with a solid stick deodorant, cream tube deodorant, 2 free products of your choice like mini body wash and deodorant wipes, and free shipping.
As a special offer for listeners, new customers get $5 off a Lumi starter pack with code OC at lumideodorant.com. That equates to over 40% off your starter pack when you visit lumideodorant.com and use code OC.
Do you remember the audition process and what
Oh, yeah.
what
Yeah,
your
yeah.
life was like right before and how it changed so quickly?
Totally. I mean, I've told the story before, but I moved to LA not knowing anyone. I was sleeping on my uncle's a screenwriter and was an actor, and his friend took me under his wing and let me sleep on his floor of his apartment in the valley. And I bought the cheapest car I could find out of the penny saver. I bought a 1986 Cadillac DeVille for $500. And I was going from audition to audition, not booking anything, auditioning for like, commercials, not getting them, Olsen twins movies to be the guy, not getting them, everything under the sun. And I was really angry and sad. And I brought that energy into the audition, which seems appropriate for Ryan. Maybe there was a soulfulness somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember meeting Josh and Stephanie and reading for them and reading for you guys. And then I remember getting called back. Josh, do you remember this? For you guys, McGee, and Doug Lyman. And in that office off of Sunset.
Yeah, it was like the addendum to the Wonderland offices.
Mhm.
Yeah, it was this tiny little room. And I was like, holy shit, I'm going to meet the director of Swingers.
Yeah.
And so I walked in, and of course, McGee's like, hey, I'm McGee. And I was like, meh. I kind of totally blew him off in a way that was not right. But, Doug was Doug. And we read that first scene with Peter Gallagher, the scene where I'm in juvie or jail or wherever the hell I am. And there's bars and stuff. And I have this like speech about how, I don't care about anything. And the first read is so bad. Like I'm pushing really, really hard. It's really bad. It ends. There's a long silence. And Doug goes, okay. So do it again, less soap opera-y. Like basically the note is like, do it again, but don't suck. Do better. To which, fair. Like that was a bad read. You called a spade a spade. And in that moment I was like, oh, okay. It actually was great. I was like, oh, right. Just like act, like don't like whatever, like throw away all the stuff that you've been over rehearsing and planning and and just like try to do it. And I did it again and it was better. And, we were shooting like a week later or something.
Yeah.
By the way, that's the most dialogue I think Ryan has throughout the entire four seasons.
Yeah.
Certainly
that
for a
scene
while.
itself.
Yeah, I remember saying to you early on, Josh, I was like, you don't need to give me lines. I think that was probably not.
No, we were all astonished by that. We were all like, wow, that's actually a lot of confidence for an actor to be like, I
don't think so.
That's how we interpreted it anyway.
Well, thank you. That was probably what I was trying to
It also may have just been a note on the dialogue, but we took it as as confidence in an actor of like, I know how to, I can do more with less.
I love not having lines.
That's very nice of you. I think it was probably me trying to project confidence when really I had no. Very little of it.
I do remember though when you were the first time we saw you, and I feel like it was on a Saturday. I could be wrong about that, but you were outside of that wing, that office, and you maybe your 7-year-old should not hear this, but you were smoking.
I was.
And it was like, hey man, how are you? And just like nothing. And I was like, oh, this is Ryan.
Yeah.
That was
the
on purpose?
nerves worked in your favor, I guess.
That was probably the best acting I've ever done in my life. that moment. Because first of all, I didn't and don't smoke. But
was it like one of those candy cigarettes? Like...
Yeah, exactly. By the way, I have to tell you kind of a funny story. So 15 years later, this is like, 5 years ago or so, I was doing a play. And I was working with an actress who was probably at least a decade younger than me. And after like weeks of rehearsal, she's like, hey, I got to admit, I'm a fan of the OC. And I have to just like run this story by you. Did this really happen? And she proceeds to tell me a story where allegedly in the audition, I was smoking and like put out a cigarette, like it was this crazy story that like would never have happened. And I was like, no, I didn't do that. I would never do that. But the fact that it had become this thing that she had heard about clearly like second, third, fourth hand or whatever was really like, I felt both awesome and really old at the same time.
But people
I've
are
become
talking.
this like mythic figure.
Yeah,
like
smoked
puts out
during his
cigarettes
audition.
The
in his
lore.
audition, which is like,
because
no,
you've told that story before, where you saw him smoking outside,
Yeah.
going into the op before he
Yeah.
went inside, and it turned into that.
Well, I think that was already scripted, but what I do remember also is we had to beg to get the cigarette because the idea of like a teenage character
Yeah.
smoking a cigarette on broadcast television at any time is insane, and we had to go in and make a case for it and what have you. But then they tried to cut a trailer for the show, and they wanted to use that scene, but they couldn't because he was smoking. So they brought Ben in with like a fake wall. They like rebuilt a piece of the set. So when they cut to him, I forget if they gave you like a French fry or like something, and it just like it only works with a cigarette. Like it has to be two kids doing this illicit thing and sharing this cigarette, or else it's like a different scene. It's interesting.
I mean, it really is, not trying to toot our own horn here, but it's an iconic scene. It's an amazing scene.
It really is.
It's a scene out of Romeo and Juliet or some sort of,
Absolutely.
it's really, and I watched it again and I'm with my daughter and I'm kind of like, what is this going to be? And I have to say, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
It's so cool. Quoting that scene is my favorite. Quoting you in that scene.
I remember, do you remember
we're on
Josh
the date.
rehearsing with Doug and
Oh,
Misha before we had some like impromptu rehearsals, like while shooting. It was fun, man. I really had a good time. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. So it was really
None of us did.
freeing. Yeah, none of us did,
Yeah.
right? And it was
No.
really,
But it's
wonderful.
such a great line where she says, "Who are you?" and "Whoever you want me to be," and it's like that's probably it's a line that came like his brother said it, or it's something that works in Chino, and it's like it's a line, and it's always worked. And she's like, "Okay."
The line for me is I stole a car, crashed it.
Yeah. Just come with the honesty.
Yeah.
I recreated it on TikTok with a Q-tip.
Oh, we didn't try that.
Didn't try Q-tip.
okay.
Not quite as sexy.
But so did you have some? I'm just curious about your early impressions of like that first day with Peter, because was that literally your first scene shooting, or do you remember
yeah,
your
I
first
think it
days on
was,
set?
actually.
It's where we started.
Really?
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, right. Just kind of ease into it with a big monologue. It was cool. I remember Peter being cool. I knew him. So the guy, the friend of my uncle who I was sort of crashing with, had done Guys and Dolls with Peter on Broadway. And so I had like a degree of separation or something. And I mentioned it to Gallagher, and he was, kind of
Do I believe this?
kind
kid?
of friendly about it, sort of, whatever. I mean, he was great. But I think, I think everyone on a pilot is like, everyone's trying to figure everything out, right? I mean, it's just, there's so much happening. So
Especially with
quickly.
Doug at the helm.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. Not holding your hand so much. And I love him, but like, he's like gonna just look at it and tell you whether it sucks or not. So yeah, I remember that. I remember a lot. I remember a lot about the pilot. Like the pilot, I don't want to say it could have happened yesterday, but I remember
Same thing. Yeah.
I remember. Yeah. Do you?
Yeah.
Yeah. One of the more fond memories I have of it was, so I hadn't worked really before the pilot. I mean, like I'd probably spent a total of 7 days on a set in my entire life prior to getting, And so when you're playing those under fives or small roles, like you stand in for yourself, there's no stand-ins. And so we would rehearse, and then these other people would come in and start like moving lights and stuff. And this guy who would come up to me, who looked a lot like me, and would sort of stand there awkwardly and would be like, and I was like, no, I'm okay. I'm good. Thanks. And everyone thought I was method, but I really genuinely did not know that you got a stand-in. I didn't know. It was great actually, because it made you stay, and it gave you this like aura of like, oh, he's very serious. He must really know what he's doing. I had absolutely no idea what I was doing, which was sort of thrilling, but also terrifying. And yeah, and I mean, the cast just clicked like immediately. I remember Adam, and you, Rachel, and Misha. I mean, it was fun. It was really fun.
We did have fun.
Because you and Adam are still very good friends, and you guys clicked, and really the show centers on your relationship, and it really is such that chemistry for the cast, and we've called it lightning in a bottle.
Yes.
And how everyone became so social, and like people like me are on the outside. I'm like, please, can I hang out with you? but no, you guys definitely had a camaraderie, and it worked on camera because it was real off screen as well, right?
Yeah, it was. Oh, absolutely. And I think, I think one of the things that the OC did that I am not aware of in this genre is male friendship. It hadn't talked about teenage male friendship in a way that was, I'm going to get all like teary-eyed. It was genuine, these were two very different people, both the characters and the actors portraying them, who genuinely liked each other, who were genuinely very different and had different perspectives on things, but who genuinely cared for each other. And that lightning in a bottle. I remember reading with Adam for that Fox test. Remember that, Josh?
Yes.
When they used to test people?
Yep.
And he was just off the charts good. I mean, like you were always giving him shit because he couldn't remember the lines or whatever.
Well, yeah. The first time he came in, he literally did not know one line. Just improvised the entire scene. I'm like, get this asshole out of here.
Yeah.
Because he wanted to play Ryan.
Yeah, he auditioned for Ryan.
That's oh, right. Forgot about
So
that.
then he came in as Seth, like kind of like against his will. And then Patrick was like, I believe in that kid. And like, let's just bring him back and see if he can be a little on board.
Well, yeah, he told the story. Patrick said that he came in, he was supposed to read Seth, but he actually chose to read Ryan without permission.
For the pre-read. Yeah.
For the pre-read.
Yeah.
He had the balls to do that.
I'm sorry. I'm spitting it. I'm imagining
amazing.
Adam as Ryan Atwood is pretty funny.
But you know what? The day that I met you, because I didn't come in until the party scene, and it was like you guys were already in at least 10 days, if not more. And you were in your tuxedo for the party, and for some reason I thought you were playing Seth. And the way Brody's held himself, I thought he was Ryan.
Wow.
So when we got, it was like I don't know, you were quiet, and it's just the way you guys were, I don't know. And then all of a sudden it was the opposite. So I was like, didn't know that.
I have run into many an actor over the years who's been like, I auditioned for that.
But it's funny you mentioned that with the male relationship because we're watched the finale and I have obviously not watched it since 2007, and there's the scene at the end where you guys hug and he's like, at least I leave you funnier than I found you. And you're like, you leave me better than you found me, and he's like, me too. And that hug again. I remember being so mad on the day because whatever reason you guys ended up in like the same colored shirt.
I was going to ask that.
Oh, really?
And I was like, why are they in this? And I guess in person they weren't the same
didn't
colored
notice
shirt, but like
that.
on camera they read it's the same shirt. And then watching it, obviously with some time has gone by, I was like, oh, you know what? It's actually kind of nice because it shows it's like an accident about how similar they've become or how much they've,
It's only the second time they hug. They hug once in the pilot, and then they hug in the
Really?
in the
They hugged at
finale.
the end of the
It's only two.
end of season 1. I feel like we recreated.
Oh, is that what it was? End of
Yeah.
season 1.
Yeah.
We want to know, there's been a lot of discussion about your choker band.
Oh yeah.
Your leather choker necklace?
Did you have any feelings about that? And we even see it at in the flashback in the pilot.
Yeah.
Or in the finale.
Yeah.
By the way, my daughter's taken to wearing a choker band. Like,
Oh,
that's
they're
how
back,
much
full of
she
facts.
enjoyed. They're fully back. I was like, what is that? I don't really. I mean, again, I didn't know what I was doing, so people would put things on me. I'd be like, okay, like I guess I remember my hair, which is quite funny, and somewhere around circa season 1 or season 2, like is suddenly like being flat ironed. Like the hair was like.
The season
And I
1
was
hair
like-
had a journey, and then we locked into it,
I was like, okay, I guess this is what they do. I don't know. Like, what do you, do you remember Daniel, our hair?
Oh, yeah,
Daniel
guy from
Curette.
season 1?
Yes.
Daniel from Cuba. I remember him and his wardrobe choices. Loved him. Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember the choker thing. I have no idea, but I am glad it disappeared.
And you had like
quickly.
leather, like wristlets.
Let's talk about your outfit, your fashion show outfit in the pilot.
Oh,
my
yours was
fashion-
amazing.
It was Poochie. Okay.
It was
But
real
it was
Gucci.
really the makeup. It was like seafoam green. Like it looked
you
like
had a
I
lot of
had,
makeup.
I looked like the Riddler. It was amazing.
You did. Yeah. A tiny little Riddler.
A little tiny,
Riddler.
just doing a penguin walk. Adam would always make fun of my walk down the runway. Like he waddled down the runway.
What a charmer.
Aw.
There's one of my favorites in season 4. We get a lot of Ryan Summer scenes, and there's this scene where
Rest my case.
and there's a lot of bloopers actually from those
Oh, yeah.
scenes, because she says, "And whatever you do, Ryan, don't choke." And she grabs you by
Choked
the
you.
neck, and she goes, "Big neck," and you say, "Tiny hands." You guys could not get through the scene.
Couldn't,
Oh my
apparently.
God, we had so much fun. That was so fun.
We had so much fun. I always love
by
that.
the end
I
of
guess
it,
we
we were-
left some Summer Ryan chemistry
We
on the
sure
table.
did. Come
Just
on.
saying, for the reboot, we got.
Listen, we just need to do 8 limited series. All we need is
Right.
8 to get to 100.
Yeah.
Then come on, we
By
can
the way,
do
we have it in
this.
place. Ben's directing.
Exactly. Come
Direct
on.
it.
He's
I'm
just got to.
Dude.
If he closes Brody, he's directing.
gotta close
Exactly.
Brody.
That's
Exactly.
the deal.
I gotta close the Brody. I gotta close the
Brody's
Brody.
warming up.
We were talking about using the AI that they're using for Harrison Ford.
Exactly.
There's like, although Stephanie talked last
The
week.
OCGI.
The
Yeah.
OCGI. Stephanie talked about going back to the 80s for
Oh.
some of the characters. Yeah, that would have been fun.
That's her dream.
No,
That's
Do you-
Ben's music dream.
By the way, Journey, can we talk about
Oh.
Ryan Atwood and Journey
Yes.
before The Sopranos?
Yes.
Before, and that came from Ben. That came from Ben's love of Journey.
Thank you,
Really?
you, and
Yeah.
thank you for and I was honored. I mean, that was so fun. That was amazing. Do
Yeah.
you remember when he was like on set with us?
Well, that's a
Like,
great story.
Yeah,
Steve
Patrick
Perry.
Norris brought him.
Patrick Norris was friends with Steve Perry.
Yep.
And there was a Journey was playing. I forget what it was, but Misha came off set and was like, basically was like, "What is this old person music that we're listening to?" had some kind of line about Journey that was not favorable. And Patrick's like, "This is Steve Perry."
Oh, no. Oh my
He-
gosh.
I
Patrick-
forget. Stephanie would remember the details better. than me.
Patrick
Yeah.
was just here and he was telling us that story, and I was like, "What? What? Steve Perry was on set?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, a couple times." I was like, "Oh, I missed that."
Dude, we had some amazing drop-bys. We had some pretty like stellar. I mean, George Lucas,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Demi Moore and her kids.
Oh,
Oh yeah, her
That's
kids
right,
came. That's
because they were
right.
friends with
Oh
Johnny
my
Messner.
God.
Yeah, I remember
is
when
that
George
what it
Lucas
was?
did his scene and he called cut. And then we're like, George, you're
George
acting
Lucas.
in the scene. You're not directing it. But you know, when you're George Lucas,
Yes,
call
you
cut.
can't help it.
you call cut.
Whatever.
You know, there were so many things. There's so many iconic storylines, and just so. I mean, between your fighting and your cage fighting and beating
Cage
up
fighting.
Bolchuk, and like at one point we counted how many people you beat up, and it's
Oh, really?
well because the list that Seth makes during
When
the,
he's worried and he's like, I'm just going to do lists to help me calm down. And that's one of them.
No.
during the earthquake,
Uh-huh.
and
That's funny.
do you have any? Do any storylines stand out to you as being more favorable in your mind, or more fun, or less favorable?
Well, I'm not going to talk about the less favorable ones.
Well, we do. We talk about things that we're not. as-
Okay, all right.
Warts and
Well,
all.
I'm not. I had a lot of fun with several of them. I really so I had known Logan Marshall Green, who played Trey before,
Okay.
but not well, but I had known him before, and I was a fan of his acting. We'd done summer stock together the summer prior to getting the OC, I think, or maybe it was 2 summers prior. Anyway, and so I really liked working with him, and we've stayed friends.
You guys were so good together.
So good.
Yeah, he's got this. He's if I come across as intense, he is actually intense. And I also loved working with Anna Reeser, to be
Yeah.
honest with you. I thought she was just delightful.
You guys-
Watching the episode last night,
Yeah.
the chemistry between you guys, how
Yeah.
much fun you're having on screen with her.
Yeah.
Really
We've
came
been
across.
saying that the whole 4th season, like you and the Taylor Ryan storyline. I love you guys together and you're having fun and
Yeah.
you can see it,
Mhm.
like you said.
Yeah, I think that I think for a lot of the audience members, it was, and I say this with all love. I think they had a hard time
Mhm.
recalibrating. Right? It was like they loved Marissa. Marissa's death was like controversial.
Yep. We've talked
And
about
so
that.
I think
We've definitely
Yeah.
revisited that and have some
Right.
have some regrets. But yeah, go ahead.
I'm
sorry.
sure I'm sure there's a whole circle of life thing going on there. But so I think in that ways, I think Autumn was kind of dealt, it was a tough hand to play, but I thought she did a remarkable job with it. And personally, as an actor, I just appreciated it because, I do think, and every show does this, like certain things work. And so you just do them,
Yep.
repeatedly. And it was nice for Ryan to have a sense of humor and to be able to go back and forth. And she was quite fun.
Yep.
So.
And when he says, I mean, I love the scene with Taylor and Ryan, and they're in the train, and it
Because
explains-
she's on a terrorist no-fly list.
right. And he says, you know what, you saved me. And my conclusion is that they did not end up together, or that she came into his life in a moment when it was important, but they had really good sex, clearly. But it was important to see Ryan heal from this very tragic love story. We want to call it like a Romeo and Juliet thing, but that's not even a romance. Romeo and Juliet is a tragedy. And I think Ryan and Marissa were a tragedy, unfortunately. But that's what it was great to see him have some healing and move on.
Yeah, and we left it open-ended in the finale.
Did you?
Yeah, they have a little look.
They have a look, but it's
at our
definitely
wedding.
not like Endgame.
It's okay. So yeah,
necessarily.
We'll see it in the back 8.
We'll see it exactly. We'll see it in the 8 episode.
We'll see you in the
limited
8 episode
series.
limited series. Coming to HBO Max, and whenever Adam agrees to it.
No,
think
you're
you
just
will.
going to write and direct them all, Ben.
I'm not
guys,
writing them. No,
apparently
I'm not writing
replaced.
them. Whoa.
Anything, we'll do anything.
Yeah.
I
Schwartz
did
has been
nothing. I
replaced.
did nothing, Josh. I did nothing.
No.
You're just here. I mean, the fan sort of they've just gone crazy. Like
wouldn't-
every week, where's Ben? We want Ben. They all want a little Ben McKenzie, and we get it.
Who doesn't? Come on.
Who doesn't? There
Who
were
doesn't?
over
My wife. No. Joking.
who, by the way, was on the show.
Was on the show.
That's so
But
crazy.
not,
You know,
but
this
not,
is
but
like-
not where the spark.
So you
Was
didn't
lit?
you
No,
didn't meet
no.
Marina?
No, and so she will tell you. One of the first stories Morena will tell you when you meet her is about how I was an asshole to her. Sorry for the language.
No, we cuss all the time.
Supposedly, so she came on, was playing a character. I think there was one scene where we appeared
I
like
can't remember.
in a group setting opposite each other.
It's a party.
Yeah, it was a party scene, and apparently she came up to me and was like nice and in her words flirtatious,
Oh.
and I was not did not reciprocate, and I was like, no way. Yeah, I actually told the story at our wedding because she came back. We met again, or for the first time on Gotham, and in a completely different circumstances. And yeah, I told the story at our wedding of like, I never believed her story because I was like, what kind of idiot would look at this beautiful woman, as she says, in her prime and in her 20s and say, eh. And then I thought about what kind of an idiot I was at the time. It all kind of made sense. But the advice was, the advice was like, you don't get a lot of second chances in life. So,
Oh, well, congratulations. I
get
got
them.
to play her madam on Firefly the year before the OC.
oh,
Wow.
right.
I'm always a madam or a dominatrix or something.
I
like that.
love it.
So many full circles.
Yes.
Firefly fans are like
Oh my
Insane.
God.
incredible.
Insane.
For
They're
one season, they're the most dedicated on
When
the
we would
planet.
do Chuck Comic Cons and we bring out
Yeah.
Adam Baldwin, it was just like,
Yep.
it was so clear that people would much rather be at a Firefly convention
Right.
for Hall H. Yeah.
Yeah,
Firefly.
yeah. Well, listen, we
Forever.
have a couple voicemail.
Well, we had over 200 200 for you, so you have to answer them all.
no.
Okay, great. I don't need to do dinner. Let's go. go
No
deep.
bathroom
We
breaks.
have selected.
No bathroom breaks.
We have selected a few.
They selected the top 100,
Top 4.
197.
Hi, my name's Anthony. I'm from Orange County. I'm a huge fan of the podcast. I'm very sad that it's coming to an end. And my question for Ben and Josh, but also you, Rachel and Melinda as well, is if you had to describe your experience on the OC in 1 or 2 words, when you look back at it, what do you feel? What's the first thing that comes to mind?
Mm.
Thank you. Also, I'm a huge fan of Gotham and Gossip Girl, so really excited for this episode and excited for your book, Ben.
Yeah.
We'll give it to our
Ben,
guest today.
few
What,
words.
you're going to put me on the spot? You guys got to
Yeah.
go first. No, you do one word first, and then I go last.
Go. Is it one word or a few words?
Is it one word or 2
Or
words?
just a
Just get one
thought?
or
I don't
two.
think.
Let's
I don't
go
think
2.
I don't think Anthony from Orange County is going to hold us to the letter of the law.
I don't know.
I don't know. I'm feeling the pressure.
I think it was magical. I will say that. Yeah, magical.
Aw.
That's my word.
I kept thinking it was literally like the best musical theater camp I ever got to go to every
It's definitely
day.
more than a word, but yeah.
I can't wait to get to
That's a
work.
sentence.
Yeah.
I'm going gratitude, and I'm going fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Youth.
Josh, you're the writer. A lot of pressure.
You.
Wasted youth. No, it's okay.
I thought you were going to say therapy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've made this this podcast. We
I
found
would
it's
say-
therapeutic.
I would say, and it's been a journey. Profound pride.
Oh,
good.
I love that.
That's nice.
Yeah, life
done.
lessons, man. Thank you,
Yeah, man.
Anthony.
Jeez Louise. Don't get me
Rachel, you got a
started.
few you want to talk
Don't
about?
get me started. All right, next question.
Next question. Thank you.
Hello, Rachel and Melinda. Welcome to the OC Bitches. Is literally the highlight to each week for me. I have been obsessed with the OC since it first aired in Australia. My name is Blake and I'm from Sydney, Australia. My Instagram handle is actually SethCohen92. 92 added from the year that I was born.
Thank you,
But
Blake.
yeah, literally OC is life. I rewatch it every year. I'm so obsessed with it. I literally have a Spotify playlist I listen to after I listen to the podcast. My question is for Ben. Where do you see Ryan now in the year 2023? Where do you think he would be and what would he be doing? And would he still be close to Summer and Seth and obviously Sandy and Kirsten? I would love to hear what your thoughts are.
Great question. Gosh, I don't know. I mean, Josh, you're the writer.
Well, we do a little flash
What do you
forward
mean?
at
You
the
just
end.
took it over from him.
Yeah, exactly. I thought you were
It's
writing the
on
show.
you.
No, Melinda,
Yeah, exactly.
Melinda fired
Yeah,
me.
now I'm writing the show. Yeah, I mean, I liked the idea that that Ryan was into architecture. I thought that was sort of interesting. It's not a field that I personally know much about, but I think that it would be interesting given like his background and the extraordinary gift that he was given to be a part of the Coens and to be in this admittedly sort of fucked up culture, but also very privileged and sort of, yes, a privileged upbringing where he had access to a lot of resources. It'd be interesting to see him. I don't know, what does that become? Like, I don't think he becomes some soulless developer. Maybe he's like building communities for people, where he came from. Maybe he's like, I don't know. I think he's close to all those people. Yeah, I think he's close to everybody that he liked in Orange County. Still punching out Volchek. Volchek and him just don't like getting along. But yeah, no, I think he's close, but I think he's one of those guys who always remembers where he came from. So probably trying to bridge the gap there.
Do you think Chino, speaking of where he's come from, do you think Chino has forgiven us?
Oh boy. I think we have a PF
Haven't been there as of
Yeah.
late.
I know.
We did Chino kind of dirty. Apologies to Chino.
Yeah.
I know
no
Chino was
offense,
like
Chino.
not happy about this.
No,
Yeah.
but I was like, it's
But
Nazareth.
it also puts
It's
him
where our
on,
hero's from.
like everyone knows Chino now.
Yeah, from you saying Chino.
It's Nazareth. I
I'm just
love
saying,
it.
it's like,
I'm Jesus.
yeah,
What's happening?
in this metaphor, you're Jesus. Shout out to
Yeah,
Australia,
okay.
by the way. Australia, very good to the OC.
Oh my gosh.
Very
yeah.
good to
Very
the
good to the
OC.
OC. Yeah.
Australia has quite a
Australians.
Should
bit
have
of fans.
definitely hit Sydney at some point in my life.
We
I've
do-
never been.
Let's go.
Let's go.
I know, we should go.
First, we're
Rach.
going to Craig's and then straight to the airport to Australia.
Listen, I do think that the ending moment of the finale shows just how much Sandy rubbed off on Sandy and his whole experience. He literally does the same thing for this
Right.
kid. And there was talk, Josh said that it sounded like, or you specifically made the kid to look like Ryan
Sure.
and even give it the idea that it could have been Teresa's
Well,
baby.
that wasn't
That
our
wasn't
thing.
your
That
idea.
wasn't our thing. But
Right.
people who watch the finale
Okay.
have definitely been like,
You like see the
oh,
kid
is that
looks
literally
like you.
his kid?
Yeah.
And you're like,
Right,
if
right.
that's what people think, then
Right.
okay. You can't,
Yeah.
you make it,
Yeah.
you put it in the world, and you let people
Let the
interpret
minds
it. Yeah.
wander.
Absolutely. That's the joy of it.
The joy.
The joy.
Hey, Melinda and Rachel. My name is Gabby. I'm from New Jersey. I absolutely love the podcast. I'm a diehard OC fan. Every August 5th, I restart the whole series.
Wow.
The show completely changed my life. I actually worked in the media industry because of this show. I wanted to work in an industry that made me feel the way that the OC made me feel. So I want to thank you both for just literally changing my lives and just for creating this incredible show. So my question is for Ben. I'm also a diehard Gotham fan, so I'm curious if Detective Gordon could throw somebody into Arkham, who would it be from the OC? Thank you guys. Love you all. Gonna miss you guys when the podcast ends, but it's been an incredible journey.
Aw,
Bye.
Gabby.
Huh.
Sounds like she's a diehard Ben McKenzie fan.
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
I love that. I mean, OC to Gotham, what a journey. God, who's the worst person in
Volchok.
Volchok.
Right? I mean, I hate to go with the obvious,
Well,
but I
let's
feel
go
like
with,
Volchok's
like,
in Arkham.
What if you go with like the core cast? Who would you throw?
Ooh. I mean, I got to throw Adam in there. So
Yeah.
that's in Arkham. Just for the comedy, just for the like. Let's see if he can survive. Let's see if
I
this
love
little
it.
smart ass can like figure it out over there.
I love it.
Hey, Ben, it's Jamie from Chilliwack, British Columbia. I think I speak for all OC fans when I thank you for coming on the podcast. I was just wondering how fun it was to see Michael Cassidy again, years after the OC on a show called Men at Work. But also, if all of you were to get together again and replay Capture the Flag, what 2 OC co-stars would you want on your team? Thanks for an amazing podcast. Have a good one, guys.
No pressure.
Nice.
Two-parter.
So it was amazing to work with Cassidy. I love him.
He's been on this podcast more than me, I think.
I think
He just
so.
shows up.
Yeah, he's there.
He stands out in the parking lot.
He's
I
very
like
here
him,
now.
man. He's got chill vibes. He's a good dude. Yeah, that was a hoot. Had a lot of fun with him. Yeah, I don't know what else to say about my Men at Work guest star, but it was wonderful and I had a great time and I really enjoyed it. And I love Cassidy. What was the second question?
Capture the Flag. Who's on your team?
Would you pick Rachel to be on your team and capture the flag?
No, absolutely
fucking better.
not. No, I wouldn't pick Rachel. She's too. I'm sorry, your legs aren't long enough to run fast.
tiny.
Do not underestimate.
I would. Yeah, you're a little cagey. I like that. If I were to pick the cast, I would go with the second generation because they're younger.
Oh,
Like I'd go with your Shailene Woodleys. I'd go with your, not that they were at that particular game, but I would go with the young. They got 20 years on us. Like that's
You're
where
going
the.
with
What are your memories from? We've talked about the Peter Gallagher Capture the Flag that year. What are your memories from that? Because we've Tate and Peter were very stoned,
holding
and-
hands.
holding hands.
You were.
And I think you and I were on the same team, and I was like I was being really rough on everyone. Jamie, wait. Who? Oh, you ran into Catherine. Catherine was on Catherine Gallagher.
Did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was a fun
Took
night.
her out.
By the way,
huh?
Catherine Gallagher, like Broadway star.
I know.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Tony nominated.
She was
Amazing.
She was opposite, literally on the other side of the street from the play that I was doing in
Wow.
2020, right
Oh my
before
God.
COVID.
She
hit.
told us. She came on the podcast and told us all
Yeah.
about it.
She,
Yeah.
oh, did she? Okay.
Yeah.
She's so great. I love her.
Yes.
Yeah, I have fond memories of that. It was such a surreal, moment and time, right? I mean, sort of all of a sudden from sleeping on the friend's floor to, we're shooting a pilot and now we're doing a series and now I'm at Peter Gallagher's Connecticut house playing Capture the Flag with his kids. Like, okay, this is great. This is awesome.
Right.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
It really was great to be a part of a family that, we had so much fun.
Were we doing Capture the Flag? And you were definitely not on my team, and you're going down.
Oh.
Okay. All right.
Putting it out
We
there.
may not get the 8-episode series up anytime soon, but capture the flag. We could
Definitely
Capture the
happening.
Flag,
That'll happen faster. Maybe.
That's right. We'll film it.
And
Just
Josh has to
notice.
be a part of it this
I
time.
missed it.
But you're
Well,
not. But you're not on
Josh.
my team
No
either.
one wants me on their team.
Yeah.
It's an
Josh is
athletic
not.
competition. Yeah.
I actually think
He's the
when you're
flag.
saying the next generation, when your kids are old enough and your kids are old
Oh.
enough and CG's like one of the rank.
this.
Yeah.
That's it.
That, I think that's it. The new
They're old enough
generation.
now.
There we go.
But wait, before we let you go, you have a really important book coming out.
Yes.
And I read up on it on Amazon and the description is pretty intriguing about being in the pandemic and being a father at home and how this came about. Do you want to tell us a tiny bit about it?
Sure. Yeah. So it's a book about how cryptocurrency is bad. And I have a degree in economics.
Wait a minute.
Wait a
I have to
minute.
call my broker. Sorry.
Hold on a second. Josh made a lot of money on it. Yeah, I have a degree in economics. I'm a secret econ dork. And over the pandemic, I went down a rabbit hole. I came out the other side thinking, wait a minute, is this kind of like the biggest Ponzi scheme in history? Yes. And I got high one day and I said I should write a book about it. I thought I should write a book about it. And then I was sober the next day and I was like, I don't know how to write a book. So I reached out to a journalist on Twitter, as you do. and he lived in Brooklyn. We went to drinks, and I said, hey, I want to write this book. This is at the height of Bitcoin, like crypto's like going crazy. This is 2021. And I was like, I think this is all going to burn catastrophically and ruin a lot of people's lives. And I feel like, it should be written about. And he agreed to it foolishly. And so we started writing articles, wrote articles for the Washington Post, The Intercept, Slate, New Republic, and sold this book. It's coming out in July. It's called Easy Money. You can pre-order it on Amazon, whatever your preferred, Barnes & Noble, however you like to order books. I interviewed Sam Bankman-Fried, the guy that got arrested before he got arrested. I asked him some questions. So there's some dirt, there's some goss. I think it's fun. I think it's a really fun, and I'm really proud of it. And it's been quite an adventure, and I'm really excited about it.
I feel like it was a controversial position that you were staking out in 2021. You're going hard against the grain.
Yeah.
And I think
it was a bit. I was very lonely at that in that sense. Like there was not a lot of, but it's actually in some ways it's a meditation on. So when cryptocurrencies sorry, I'm going to get deep for just a second. When cryptocurrencies call themselves currencies, they're not actually currencies because currencies do things. For example, you can buy stuff with them. We made up money. Money is a thing, a social construct, just like government or religion. Money relies on trust, and it relies on people trusting each other in order to transact with each other. So cryptocurrency trying to be this trustless form of money is actually impossible because money is trust. So it's actually about how, at the end, it's actually about how we can come together, possibly to address the actual issues that crypto is purportedly addressing, but not actually addressing, issues that stem from the financial crisis and even predate that. And it's also a reflection on kind of being a middle-aged father and having a wild journey, an escapade, and I don't know. I'm really excited for people to read it, and I'll send you guys a copy. And
wait, I have the link up to pre-order it right now.
Awesome. Please do.
I mean, your
please
timing
do.
was pretty impeccable. I mean, this whole thing kind of came, and you testified before Congress.
In my opinion, the cryptocurrency industry represents the largest Ponzi scheme in history. In fact, by the time the dust settles, crypto may well represent a fraud at least 10 times bigger than Madoff. The fact that it has roped in tens of millions of Americans from all walks of life, as well as hundreds of millions of people worldwide, should be of concern to us all. Thank you for your time.
I testified in front of the Senate,
Or Senate, sorry. And I was like, and he's with the guy from Shark Tank. This is a surreal moment.
Which one?
The Shark Tank guy took $15 million from Sam and
Mr.
FTX.
Wonderful.
Mr. Wonderful, as he likes to call himself.
The Canadian.
I talk about it in the book.
Okay. We're gonna read about it.
Yeah, we're gonna read about it.
I settle a few scores. There's a few people that I'm like, I'm not above pointing out people's track records.
Okay.
The book's about money and lying, and I know about money from econ. I know about lying because
you're an actor.
I'm an actor.
Yep.
We do it for a living. So it's fun. It's not too heavy. It's like, it's a nice
Rachel
summer
can
read.
enjoy it.
Yeah, I think you're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. There's no math in it. It's very
Thank God.
I will say, just to bring it back to the show, the middle-aged dad thing. That's the only thing I had for this OC continuation. I was like, I only have one scene in the beginning, and it's Seth and Ryan, and they're getting vasectomies. And that's how we open.
Yes.
So if you
I was actually gonna, I was gonna tell that story. It didn't make it to the book, but I was so the New York Times wrote a piece on me in spring of last year about this crazy idea that crypto could possibly be a Ponzi. Who would have ever thought? And the day the article came out, Marina was working and my kids were I needed to get them ready for school. And so my agent was texting me at 8 a.m. Here's the article. I didn't have a chance to read it. I got the kids off to school. I went into the city and I'm sitting, I swear to God, in the doctor's office for my vasectomy consultation. I swear to God. And I'm reading this.
Oh my God.
Great. Yeah. I haven't done it yet. All full disclosure, but I've been consulted.
Keep us posted.
I think you're onto something, Schwartz. I like this. I like this a lot.
Maybe we can write it and it could all happen at the same time.
Yeah, we can actually do it. Yeah. See, that'll really
method.
bring up ratings.
Literally, the only way to do anything in addition to what that show was is some kind of meta comedy, pure comedy, wacky.
There you go.
Don't you think?
Yeah.
It's got heart though. No, I think the thing. I mean, yes, but also like the OC really did have. I mean, I think it was funny and it had genuine, human emotion, and everyone was an outsider. Everyone was a misfit.
Mm-hmm.
It was, it was nice in that way.
It was nice in that way.
I'm so glad Ben did this.
Ben,
Me too.
Thank you guys for having me.
Oh,
Thank you for
Ben,
your
I love
patience.
you. I'm so happy to see you. And
I love you too, Rich.
Can't wait to see you in person.
So much, and we can't wait to meet the kids.
Yep,
And
we're getting all the kids together at Josh's.
Awesome. We're coming out to California. It's going to happen.
Ben, thank you so much. I'm so glad.
Thank you.
I'm so glad we gently asked you and didn't bug you too much.
I was
You were
scared.
wonderful.
I had Mindy do all the heavy lifting. I'm like, I can't ask him again.
I'm like, I totally get it.
I'm glad it happened. I really am. It feels right. It feels like the right time and the right kind of, the energy's good, guys. So congratulations on the podcast.
Thanks.
What a great run. And it's on Josh. I think Josh is writing the limited series. I don't think it's me. So Josh.
But Ben's directing.
But you
Good
can
luck to
direct.
that.
Yep, you'll
All
direct.
right, I'll direct it.
It's
All right,
happening. I don't care what
All
you
right,
all
it's
say.
happening.
And congrats on the book.
Yeah,
Yes,
congrats.
congrats.
Can't
Forward to
wait.
it.
Thank you guys.
Say
If you want to
hi,
say
hi to Marina.
Yeah.
Okay.
I will.
Take
I will.
care.
Bye.
Love
Bye.
you. Bye.
Thank you so much for listening. Follow, rate, and review. Welcome to the OC Bitches wherever you listen to your podcasts. If you like to watch us, check it out on YouTube. And please tune in next week for part 2 of The End's Not Near, It's Here.
Bye, bitches.
Welcome to the OC Bitches is brought to you by Cast Media. Executive produced by Colin Thompson, Harris Lane, produced by Katie Curtright,
Edited by Parker Flores and our technical engineers, Travis Holden and Dustin Park.
Hello, OC fans. It's me, Melinda Clarke, or Mindy, as everyone's calling me, and I am here with my beautiful and lovely daughter, CG, or Catherine Grace, or Catherine the Great.
Okay, Mom, that's enough.
We've been listening to you, the fans, and we've decided to launch our very own new podcast called Bye Bitches.
My mom and I will be rewatching iconic movies and TV shows that have had an impact on us and our culture.
Yes, we will be watching everything from Love Potion number 9 with Tate Donovan to The Golden Girls or Vampire Diaries, maybe, and Porky's?
Wait, what? You lost me at Vampire Diaries. Is Ian coming?
No comment. But we will be joined by the very actors and artists that made these iconic films and TV series. And let me tell you, we actually have some amazing guests lined up.
She is not kidding. And we also want to hear from you, the fans, on what we should be watching. Like, what was your favorite throwback TV series?
It's Nikita, right?
Sure, Mom.
Okay. Or whatever your favorite film you are dying for us to recap or watch for the very first time.
Can I just say Vampire Diaries again?
No. Yes. Well, okay.
Get ready for a wild nostalgia ride as my mom, aka Gen X Mindy, introduces me to the hits of the yesteryears.
And my lovable CG shows me what's up in pop culture right now. So hit that subscribe button and get ready for our launch on June 1st. We'll be seeing you soon.
Bye,
Bye,
bitches.
You say it way better than me.